It's a wonderful chart if you have an ADA. When we look at the daily chart, all we can see is a 15% green candle. The action is crucial. In this video, we'll discuss what this implies in the immediate and long-term terms, as well as why it matters in the grand scheme of things and why it matters for current bear market. But first, let's reel in our emotions and put this out there. Green candle, that is. In the midst of a bear market, there is a green candle. We've been in this situation previously, but that doesn't always imply we'll see these parabolic gains into the next bull market in the upcoming month. At least, it is how I see it. This is how I interpret events. I interpret the charts in this way. The daily chart is shown here. And before we even get started on what this means and the current move, let me just quickly go over a few points. This article is current. The number of transactions, the average number of transactions per block, and the activity at 24-hour addresses are all increasing and appear to be on the rise. And this essay is being written while Cardano is experiencing network activity, bull run, and regular transactions. This is why. And the market is in a bear market. And I simply love it. When I invest in a cryptocurrency and the market is down, Cardano is down, ETH is down, and many other coins are down similarly, we are in a bear market. It's not like it's just failing, you know. But I truly like owning alternative currencies and cryptocurrencies like Cryptus that are fundamentally expanding and laying the groundwork for the next bull market. And we discuss that frequently in relation to Cardano. Cardano daily NFT volume sets new all-time high at 4 million. ADA data shows the total volume of the Cardano base NFTs has achieved a new all-time high after rising up more than 300% in the previous 10 days. I recently produced a video titled "Something Great is Coming" that discussed Charles's tweet in which he said that something special would be coming in November. You are aware that is also currently relevant. It's good to see Cardano making a daily move in light of all of these events. This graph spans 6 hours. We'll actually start here, in fact. Additionally, I want to play a crucial video. This video clip is so significant. Watch this only from October 23rd, 2 days ago, to establish the scene since this is a pretty technical analysis video. Thus, this divergence is bullish. And whenever we observe anything similar on a 6-hour, daily, or weekly chart, it is crucial, at least for me, to raise an eyebrow and begin looking for a breakout. This is, too. So please don't think I'm congratulating myself on the back. I'm not doing that right now. But I'm just so excited about it. And I have approximately 5 years of experience covering technical analysis on this channel. These things just happen, and it thrills me so immensely every time. They frequently require patience. And this cryptographic game will teach us all to be patient. But these occurrences continue to occur. They also help me mentally. And up until now, I have only done that. I don't do it in order to make forecasts. I only do it to anticipate and picture these things happening, nothing else. And while that does happen very frequently because to the tools we have and the signals that are in place, I just want to clarify that it doesn't necessarily. We frequently observe broken patterns as well as indications that never materialize. Yet these things do occur. After bullish divergence, the breakout occurs frequently. On this chart, we can see it yet again. And this chart has already shown it before. In our previous video from August, we discussed a very similar technique. We now know why it's vital after this breakthrough. And I won't make you watch any more video. But we discussed this move in the same video. This is the pivotal action we have been anticipating. In fact, this has been in the works for months. Right, we were talking about the pullback move at that point. How frequently do we talk about pullbacks on these charts? I say months in the making since this triangle dates all the way back to May. So here is ADA on the daily chart. We're referring to the spring of 2020 for everyone. Furthermore, we've just gone through the ringer. We have been riding a choppy roller coaster of emotions for cryptocurrency in general. but specifically for Cardano on this chart, where it simply consolidates sideways and makes gains before making massive negative breaks. Don't forget it most recently. We actually broke through the lower trend line of the triangle at the end of September, which was less than a month ago. We then came back up and tested the trend line as resistance, which is a confirmation signal for a move to the downside. We have been tracking and waiting for this potential pullback, and in my opinion, it is happening right now, so now is the time to start watching for that next signal. If there is a retreat, the lower trend line needs to be broken into the triangle's apex in order for it to be confirmed as a bullish move. However, a more cautious trader could wish to short, and they would be looking for resistance in this area. Not only is the lower trend line of the triangle present in this chart, but we also have these crucial moving averages. And for our Dano, these have really been the characteristics of this entire bad market. That is to say, if you simply look, it has happened repeatedly. Just failing at the 20, Cardano ADA failed at the 50. When we did breach it, we would always look for their support and a continuation of the bounce, but we failed to stay above. It simply failed repeatedly for more than a year. Right now, this is where we are. Just like we frequently see, Cardano ADA is repeating the same monotonous motion of returning to the moving averages. And we resume monitoring that match. What occurs at those moving averages, then? Or is there actually resistance? First things first, the 20-day moving average was breached at about 38 cents, which is positive. The 50-day moving average, which is currently hovering around 42, has not even been broken. On this chart, ADA is within a few cents of its current value at about 43 cents. We want to see it reach that trend line, so that is the first thing I'm going to be looking out for. However, the 50-day moving average, the trend line, is directly below that resistance. There are 5 hours left in this daily candle, so in the short term, I'd be checking to see if IDA will even reach the 50-day moving average today. What would the following daily candle look like if that happens? How does it interact with the 50-day? Or if this gap persists and the data doesn't reach the 50-day moving average, this 50-day is going to be somewhat pulled down as ADA does whatever it's doing, whether it comes down slightly or just moves sideways. We'll see if there is resistance at the 50-day moving average. The first point of resistance on the shorter term is therefore at 43 cents, where there is a lower trend line. Naturally, we would like to see Cardano reach 44 to 45 cents because, at that point, not only are we getting the pullback, which is normal and, in my opinion, is present, but we also got that move, and we got the pullback to the moving averages that are just below, specifically the 50-day below this lower trend line. But after that, we'll simply have to wait and see if ADA and we can make it. This will likely depend on the S&P 500 continuing in the right direction. This is a daily chart, and it is currently green. Therefore, traditional markets, like the stock market, have been rising during the past week or two. Therefore, if that keeps happening and Bitcoin keeps going, Bitcoin had its own breakout out of this upper trend line, this consolidation pattern if these bullish moves keep going, and most likely we will see IDA continue into the apex of this triangle. However, even from where it is currently, check this out to reach that upper trend line. Currently, we are at 20% move, 21% move. Therefore, in the end, if we were holding of hopium, we would want to see a busted pattern here, which is a phony breakout to the downside, a pullback to the apex, and an upside breakout. That might not be relevant, in my opinion. I keep repeating it, but I truly believe that the bear market is still ongoing. And I might be totally off base in my assessment. Everyone may have a dark side, and I could be dead wrong. But that's simply what I think. I'm just sharing it with you. I therefore frequently choose to remain neutral while these events unfold. The green candles are lovely. But I do know that they do happen frequently, especially during bear markets. Therefore, there is a lot of resistance that is ahead for 8 to 20% of the higher trend line. Even if everything were to suddenly explode and turn insane, there is still a chance for a throwback, and this triangle needs to be tested once more for any conceivable role it might play. And you can see how this goes all the way to suggesting that this shift could take a month, once again playing on our emotions. And that's why I'm sitting here and why I'm doing these films for everyone. Even if what I'm charting on this chart is speculative, it's so typical that these moves take a while and they truly put us to the test. And in order to get ready, we need to be psychologically strong. In order to get to the trend line correctly, we're talking about 44 or 45 cents, and eventually the 50-day moving average will be around 43 cents. I'm just kind of watching and enjoying the gains as a result. I like the way the fundamentals are developing, and my favorite chart is the zoomed out weekly one. I particularly like how the bars pattern simply moves from the peak of the most recent bull market to the bottom of the most recent bear market. I enjoy speculatively dragging this over. Obviously, we stretch it out and lower it a bit for the move speed and aggression. However, I enjoy playing around with this to give me a sense of what might still be in store. What if it looks like this, and you can just make out on this bars pattern that ADA might just test the triangle apex before the markets hit resistance and capitulate? What if it is similar to that? What if it's similar to that, but not in terms of timing? I enjoy doing that a lot. Additionally, it's just typically who I am in bear markets. Until I get more macro confirmations from my technical analysis and data that tells me otherwise, I like to anticipate negative market swings. Hey, I've got a more I am waiting for that since I feel more confident there. In addition, it is necessary to follow the news in the immediate aftermath of these decisions because they are crucial, but I believe that everyone should take a deep breath and savor the victories while they are still being made. In the end, this action is crucial even if markets decline in a month and bottom out much further. Right, it serves as a cushion. If that's going to happen, it gives a ton more room for the downside to ultimately bottom out. But once more, we follow it and see it together. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in the next video. God's grace.